Hey, what's up everybody, Primus22 here, bringing you a little addendum. You know what I'm saying. A few updates on the channel. First, some updates on the style the channel is taking that you might have already noticed. I've been taking the channel in a new direction, and let me give you the quick bullet points. Transformers Lore has abandoned the parts system that I've been using simply because going in chronological order is very limiting and arbitrary. Transformers Lore is expanding beyond storylines. I will now cover technology, sciences, timelines, pretty much anything pertaining to the Hasbro Takaratomi multiverse. By creating a backlog, there will be videos Monday through Friday every week. If I ever get behind on making my backlog, videos will be on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for that week. My uploads are usually Transformers Lore videos, so in a normal week I usually intend to include the following things each week. A Transformers Lore video covering something that does not strictly belong to something branded Transformers. A Transformers Lore video covering something that someone has asked for or suggested in the comments, and a video that is over 5 minutes since, because of the nature of my schedule is changing, shorter videos are going to be a lot more common. So I at least want to get, something a little bit more longer. Also, another thing I've noticed is that sometimes I just sound dead when doing videos, so for me, I've taken a little note to put a little more energy into my voice. With these changes, the Primus22 channel is going in a much more successful direction than ever before, and I'm loving the general positive feedback I'm getting. Now let's talk about titles and the mission of the Primus22 channel, specifically the series Transformers Lore. As I mentioned in the very introduction video for the series, Transformers Lore intends to cover everything in what could be called the Hasbro Takaratomi multiverse, and not limited to Transformers. So, why is it called Transformers Lore? Because this multiverse was founded and established from Transformers fiction initially. It's from Transformers stories that we see how the multiverse is created and how it works. Transformers Lore is generally a series that takes an in-universe perspective of things, or rather an in-multiverse perspective, and because of that, the arbitrary lines drawn by franchise are ignored, considering how everything links together even if it's in the most smallest detail or in a throwaway line. Now, I did debate the title thing with myself for a long time, even after I already explained my intent to stay Transformers Lore, until I ultimately put it up to my fans, my viewers, who consume and enjoy the content I put out. Anybody can just watch a YouTube video, but to be a fan of the creator and to go as far as to follow them on Twitter, I for one really appreciate that, and it was their voice in that poll that I respected, and they chose to keep the name Transformers Lore. Twitter, Discord, and Tumblr are places where I communicate with my audience. Usually when I need a poll done, I put it on Twitter, and I enjoy the feedback I get from the people in the Discord server. And Tumblr, well, no one really talks to me on Tumblr, and besides me putting up videos, you might not be able to tell it's my Tumblr. I've gotten one question in my ask box on Tumblr, and it's not even a question. And when it was worded as a question, I think I already answered it on stream, but whatever. Back to titles. If someone were to make a series analogous to mine for, say, the DC Comics universe, they would call it the DC Comics Universe Lore series or whatever, instead of, say, Batman Lore. But here's the thing. People can see the term DC Comics Universe Lore and know what it's referring to. People will look up DC Comics Universe Lore. People will see that title, and if they're interested, they'll click on it. You can't do the same thing with my channel because nobody knows what the Hasbro Takaratomi multiverse is. Nobody will recognize it, and nobody will click on it. If I break it apart into franchises like Transformers Lore, G.I. Joe Lore, Gem Lore, then people coming to my channel will think that they are separate entities and expect me to cover things like the Gem movie or G.I. Joe Sigma 6 when those do not take place in the multiverse. I do not want to continue a lot of misconceptions we see from people about Transformers Lore, or specifically the lore of the multiverse that we see floating around in different communities. And this brings me to my next topic, community. Specifically lore communities. I'm a fan of the Elder Scrolls and Star Wars and other franchises that have a lot of lore to them, just like Transformers and the rest of the multiverse. I enjoy reading threads and essays and debates within their lore communities. Every fandom has their own sub-communities. You have the guys that like fanfiction, the stop motions, you have those who only like certain parts of the content and are okay with ignoring the rest, you have those who collect the toys. The gaming fandom has those who are hardcore gamers and casual gamers, people who only like certain kinds of genres or platforms. When I tend to indulge myself with a little fandom, it's always the lore community that gets me hooked. Those who really care about the source material, going so far as to learning from it and effectively writing essays about it, and the lore community is strong in things like Elder Scrolls and Star Wars, but it's effectively non-existent in Transformers, and that's a shame. Now, I'm not saying you or anyone needs to fall into the category of those who love the lore. I love the various different ways fandom can show itself, from the most casual person who has only watched the Michael Bay movies, to the cosplayer, to the collector, to those who make those porn fan arts. You do you. I will not go on a rant on how someone's not a true fan unless they've met a specific requirement. If you like it, you like it. If you think you're a fan, then you're a fan. So, back into community and the mission. The lore community is very important to me, and I want to bring my love of the lore of this fictional multiverse to more people. The Transformers fandom tends to be one of the most notorious for not caring about the lore and the deep lore, or having weird misconceptions about what the lore is. Every time I see a tweet or a comment saying about how the live-action movies ruin Transformers lore, I cringe because someone's getting so angry about something they evidently know nothing about. There's only so many ways I can say this. I want to help facilitate the lore community and help people become lore masters or lore buffs or what have you, and I want to effectively spread the word. That's always been the mission of Transformers lore, and those willing to learn more and to think critically and, most importantly, add to the discussion have always been my intended audience, even if that makes a small minority of my actual audience. So, beyond my channel, beyond Discord, beyond Twitter and my essays I post there, beyond the Oracle, I decided to help make something to serve as a hub for discussion on the deep lore of the multiverse. The Primus Prime 22 subreddit is up and running, and there are still plans to help improve it. In the past, I've always posted my essays on Twitter, but I want to turn the Primus Prime 22 subreddit into the hub for discussions of lore and on matters regarding the channel. So, if you are a true child of Primus, then come on over. Write an essay or thesis or theory with your findings and add to the discussion. I'm a historian, and historians are not doing their jobs if they keep everything to themselves. You need to share it. Tell it to the world, discuss it, debate it, and get differing opinions. But that's going to wrap up today's little update video. Uploads should continue on Monday. Follow me on social media, join the Discord server, and, possibly most important, let's bring a lore community, a deep lore community, to the fandom of this multiverse with the subreddit. Subscribe if you like, and have a great day, ladies and gentlemen.
僕と分かってももう抱きしめなくていいんだよ Hey 命令僕が分かったらもう一度笑ってくれるかな幻だって知るんだよ嘘つきだって知るんだよ